It's official, Hwang is my new favorite character on this drama, behind Yeon and Hwang of course. She embodies power and vulnerability, and it's rare that we see both in our K-drama ladies. Admittedly, her unrelenting pursuit of Yeon is at times frustrating, but she's not so shameless that she loses sight of her own self-respect. Case in point, her reaction when she tracks down 1938 Yeon and he mistakes her for his past love. Initially, there's a little spark of hope in her eyes as he embraces her in a back hug, but then he pitifully whispers the name of his past love. My heart broke for Hwang as her eyes teared up in disappointment. She very easily could have taken advantage of the situation, but instead finds the inner strength to walk away. But first she smashes a piece of pottery over his head and knocks him unconscious. Back at the Kisang house, Yeon and Hwang quickly foil the Japanese agent's baby napping attempt and use a little fox magic to wipe their memories, but Kato is suspicious. Unfortunately for our heroes, one of Kato's lackeys has a sister working there, and he knows all too well that Hwang's weakness is her girls. So, of course, our bad guys kidnap one of the girls and offer up a trade, the baby, in exchange for the girl. And at first, it seems like Hwang has double-crossed Yeon and Hwang because she sneaks away into the night with the baby, and she personally begs the carrot-loving man to reveal the location of the gold mines in order to save the kidnapped girl. Thankfully, it's all a ruse. Hwang used his fox magic to transform into a baby double, stalling for time so So-yeon and Shin-ju could sneak into the police station and find out where the Japanese officers were holding Hwang's girl. Their ensuing rescue attempt is another example of this drama's exemplary use of filler scenes to make the audience laugh, even while it delays us from reaching the next plot point. Did the undercover police infiltration need a side adventure to the barber shop? No, but watching Yeon pretend to cut the terrified Shin-ju's hair was entirely welcome. Eventually, Yeon and Shin-ju's rescue attempt is successful, and Yeon updates Hwang by summoning a storm cloud since cell phones don't exist yet. At the same time, the Japanese have finished marking their map with all the gold deposits that the carrot-loving man pointed out, and they have deemed him and the baby expendable. It's at this point that Hwang decides to wisely shed his hilarious CGI baby disguise and take out the Japanese soldiers. He's outnumbered, but Hwang, who initially tried to leave him behind, turns around to assist her fox-in-law. However, Hwang is now aware that the more put-together Yeon has traveled from another time, and her curiosity is only surpassed by her desire to see Yeon and Moo-young resolve their differences. If anyone is going to bridge the gap between these two, it will be her. And how convenient is it that Moo-young shows up on her doorstep to finally reveal himself to Yeon? Yeon is instantly suspicious and doubts Moo-young is the real deal because, last he knew, Talipa had turned him into stone. When Yeon goes in for a hug, something tingles his fox senses and he accuses Moo-young of being the masked man. A fight ensues, and it only comes to an end when Hwang runs her sword through both of them at the same time. While they're shish kebab together, Hwang interrogates the former friends and tries to figure out why Moo-young is so hostile towards Yeon. Yeon, who is on the verge of death, admits he killed Moo-young's brother. And in case there was any doubt, he adds that he doesn't regret his actions. But let's be real here, Yeon wouldn't kill his best friend's brother without a good reason, so there's definitely more to this backstory. Hwang was banking on Moo-young's ability to heal Yeon's injury when she stabbed them, but even she's a bit surprised when Moo-young complies with her request. His gesture of good faith is probably mostly due to his one-sided affection for Hwang, but it feels like there's a kernel of truth when he explains that he needs the modern-day Yeon to complete his plan. However, it feels like he's playing the role of a long-lost friend in order to appease Hwang and to bide time, while he unleashes yet another horrifying demon on them. While Yeon, Hwang, and Moo-young spend a night on the town with their reunited little trio, Eun-ho and the girls back at the Kisang house take a break from studying to play a spooky game to call upon the dead. Sure enough, whatever hellish creature Moo-young covertly unleashed answers their call and kidnaps Eun-ho. So when Yeon and his childhood friends return from their movie date, they reenact the game in order to summon the ghost and rescue Eun-ho. The problem with their plan, however, is that it's built upon the theory that they're dealing with a normal ghost. Since Moo-young remains tight-lipped about the real identity of the demon, their ill-informed plan results in another kidnapping. This time, Hwang goes missing, and since it takes an extremely powerful being to kidnap a mountain god, Yeon and crew realize they are up against something way worse than they initially suspected. The demon in question is Jong-san-bum, and even though Mu-young acquired the means to attract and unleash said demon from the King of Five Paths, Mu-young wants to rectify his mistake and rescue Hwang. So after they learn that Jong-san-bum takes women because he's searching for a bride, the two men prepare for the ritual that will take them to him and hopefully reunite them with Eun-ho and Hwang. Hwang is appropriately distrustful of Mu-young and offers to go with Yeon on the rescue mission instead, but Yeon would rather keep his enemy nearby than place his brother in danger. Not only is Yeon still suspicious that Mu-young is the masked man, but he can't believe it's a coincidence that both Mu-young and Jang-san-bum arrived at the Kisang house at nearly the same time. Although Hwang only looks marginally appeased, it's comforting to know Yeon hasn't foolishly allowed past feelings of friendship to cloud his judgment. I was particularly pleased with this scene because, as much as I love the comedic bromance between Hwang and Yeon, this was a vulnerable moment for Hwang. He subtly let down his walls and revealed his concern for Yeon, which is going to make it all the more difficult when Yeon eventually returns to the future. This season is going to crush our hearts too, isn't it? And so the ritual is performed, and when Yeon and Mu-young come to, they appear to have traveled to the Joseon era. Except, the streets and buildings appear empty, but further exploration leads them to some dead bodies and a young girl cowering in fear. They ask the girl to lead them to Jong-san-bum, but she tricks them and they are knocked unconscious instead. When they regain their wits, they're bound and prepped for beheading. But instead of dying after meeting the sharp end of a pair of swords, they wake up again and discover that they are on the set for a drama production entitled Jong-san-bum's Bride. Yeon and Mu-young are appropriately confused, and I'm right there with them. And just like that, we have another killer cliffhanger on our hands and have to wait another week to learn what's truly going on. And that covers episodes 5 and 6 of Tale of the Nine-Tailed 1938. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel and come back next week for the new episodes.